Welcome back to the jewelry course. I'm Mr. Parrot. This will be part 4. As you can see, actually these are not parts, they're not following each other, so maybe I should stop calling them parts and just go with the design names, etc. But we'll see about that. So today we'll design a matching band for men's and women's, for a couple's band with this design, and we'll use a command at the end which will replicate the same ring with these different sizes. So let's start together. As always, we need a ring rail. This will probably never change. Whenever we design a ring, we need a ring rail, which was here. Click once, and when the box pops here, let's go with something like, I don't know, 15. Click the button and we have our ring rail. Now I want to design my profile myself today. Instead of using this profile placer, we'll just go and draw it here in an empty space. So I'll go to curve and get a single line from here. Okay, click anywhere, and then now we will type the width of the ring. For now, let's go with 2.5. Maybe we can change it later. 2.5, hit enter, and then pressing and holding shift on my keyboard, I will left click once. I have this line here. And the height of the profile would be somewhere around 1.3. Of course, 1.3 on the other side as well. And for the side thickness, I guess something like 0.6 will be okay for us. 0.6 on each side, and the depth I want another 0.65. Those are not exact numbers, they can always change, it depends on your design, but always keep in mind not to make too thin, too thick. So here in this example we have a 0.65 here and a 0.65 there, so I guess it's okay for me. Now we need to join these together with this command join, and of course we need to see closed curve up there, and then I will move this curve profile to the bottom of my ring rail. By choosing it, I'll go and press move right here and then click find the mid. If you can't find the mid, probably your snaps are turned off with this key over here or those buttons, so you can just click them to turn them on and then hit mid, and you can also go to another screen like the perspective and leave it there in the bottom. Or if you designed it on the other side like this, you can always move it and put it on top. It's the same thing. Now I want to sweep this profile around my ring rail, so I'll go to surface and sweep 1. And check up here what's it saying. The command will always tell you what to do. It says select rail, so you want to select the rail, and this cross-section curve, which is our profile, select it once, right click with your mouse, right click again, and this box will pop up. We're not going into it just now, we'll go in our further videos, and hit OK. For me, for now, this looks good. Okay, let's keep going with the design. Now I want to extract the surface in between, so I'll go to solid and hit this extract surface key, the command I mean, and I want to copy it. I don't want to lose the original one, so I'll click here to make the copy yes, and if you click, the surface will be highlighted. This means that you can extract the highlighted surface. So if I right click, now it's extracted, and now if you click here to choose it, the box will pop up with polysurface and the surface. So the surface is this one, the one that we extracted, and the polysurface is our whole ring. Okay, I'm taking it back with Ctrl Z, and I'll change its color just to make things easier to choose. You can right click here in Metal 4 Now there's a command here in transform and first page, it's called smart flow, so we'll use that one. I'll go ahead and choose the surface, the one that we extracted, and click smart flow, and up on the command line, if you look here on the right side, it says auto base, and if you click it once it will give us a base. So it's basically this surface but unrolled. It's a straight planar surface. Now this one, let me hide this ring, hide it. This surface and this one, they work together, they're combined. This means if I design something on this surface, it will automatically go on this one, and if I move it, oops, if I move it, it will move on the surface as well. Going back with Ctrl Z. So we will do our design on this one. So in order to do the shapes, I need a marquise gemstone just to extract the curve around it. I'll go to gems, gem loader. If it pops up like this, it's fine. If it pops up with another gemstone that you used before, you just need to click gem shape here. I'll go with marquise, and the size doesn't matter because we'll just get the curve. I choose the gemstone. I go to gem profile curve right here, and if you put this gem, if you select it and put it in this gem box, it already starts working, and if you right click, it gives you the curve. We don't need the stone anymore, so I can delete it now with the delete key on my keyboard, and I will use this curve. Let me maximize my looking down screen by double clicking here, and using my gumball I'm moving this one over here. Okay, now we'll turn it, shape it, size it, and we'll keep going. Now I want to turn this 30 degrees. So to turn this 30 degrees, I will click once with my left button on this arc, on this yellow arc here. Click once, and when the box pops, just type 30 and hit enter. If you don't want this orientation, if you want it oriented right side instead of your left, you can always go back with Command Z, and after clicking, instead of typing 30, you can type -30, which stands for 30 degrees or -30 degrees. And if you want to resize this for smaller, you can use this little square there and this one over here. But if you want to, I'm sorry, I messed up here. If you want to scale this two-dimensional without messing the shape, you need to press and hold Shift on your keyboard, and while holding Shift, doesn't matter which box you choose. If you press and hold inside or outside, you can make it smaller or bigger. Okay, we will array this here like so. We can even turn it a little bit more than 30 degrees. Make it bigger. Yep, if you're happy with it, let's go. We need to mirror this right here to the bottom side as well. So choose the curve, go to mirror, and as a mirror plane, I want to write this mid section over here. This is the middle of the surface. Click once, and now I'm pressing and holding Shift on my keyboard to stick it at 90 degrees. Okay, now if you want, you can make it bigger, smaller. Just do the adjustments you would like to have. Yep, I think I'm happy with this. Now, the curves are already on the surface because I'm moving them here. Now I want to move this, the first one that I designed, I want to move it 0.2 millimeters under the surface. So if you go to through finger, the pieces that are coming on top, they will be 2 millimeters inside, 0.2 millimeters inside. So when I try to Boolean union them to make them one solid piece together, it will be easier for me. Sometimes if the surface that I'll try to merge, as you would say, is right on top of the surface, it will not work. I don't know if it's some kind of a bug or if it's some kind of a technical thing. Sometimes it's not working. So just to make things clear and just to be sure, I will click this once, and to move it down 0.2 millimeters, I'll click this arrow, and when the box pops, I'll type minus 0.2. Always be careful with the points because comma is not working. It needs to be a point. And hit enter. Now they're under the surface. Okay. Now I want to extrude this curve, the first one that we designed, that we drew here. I will go to solid, extrude curve straight, upwards. And I want it to be a solid no because I want it hollow inside. You will see why. And I will type in 0.4. Yep. You can see it's already coming here in shape. Now I want to make a dome top, like a ball, you know. Instead of having something straight, I want it to be curved. So I will go to curve, second page, and I'll duplicate the edges. It's this command here, duplicate edge. Click it once, and if you check up in the command line, it says select edges to duplicate. So it's first and second, and right click. Now if you're careful enough, let me hide this. These two curves, they're not joined, they're two separate curves. We never want that. I'm going back once. I will choose them both curves, and click join, and as always, check this if it's saying closed curve. It always needs to be closed. Now what I want, this is a curve that we duplicated or we designed. I want to turn this into a profile. And if you go to tools, and if you go to second page, there is this profile command. If you click it once and the command pops here, you need to put your curve inside this box and just right click. Now it turned this curve, the one that we designed, it turned it into a profile. Now we can go and click this profile and cap. And as you can see, now it's a dome that you can go higher, you can go lower. I'll go with something like this, right click. And now we need to join these together. So press and hold shift, choose them both, hit join. And here you need to be careful because it's empty inside. If you look under, you'll see that it's hollow. So we need to cap this, and since it's a straight line, you can go to solid and then cap planar, this one here. It capped. Now it's a closed poly surface. It's good, it's what I want. One thing about this profiling thing, if you design something like this and you go to tools, you hit this, you choose your curve, and then you hit profile and cap, and it does nothing, it just doesn't work. Okay, that's when you know it's either not a profile or it's not straight. So to turn it into a profile, you click this command, profile, choose the curve, put it in the box, and right click. Now you can go and profile and cap. This is how it's doing this dome thing. I delete it. Okay, I will mirror this just like we did the curve before. Yep. As you can see, it's already here. Now I want to array these two on this surface. And the guessing game will start again because I don't know how many will fit. I'll choose them both. Okay, and then we'll go to transform, second page, and use this array linear. Click it once, and number of items, let's say, I don't know, 100. I typed in 100, hit enter, and now as a first reference point you can just click somewhere close. And for the second, you just need to press and hold shift as well on your keyboard, and wherever you're happy, You can just left click once. Okay, let's check. Oh, it's good. You can just delete these two. So we have 99 pairs of these polysurfaces arrayed on the surface, and then they are flowed on our main surface. Yep. Now I can show what I've hidden before, which is the ring. And these rough edges, I don't like them, so I'll go to solid, fillet edge, and I'll type in 0.15. It's a small number, and I'll just click those edges to fillet them to have a more rounded shape around. Yep, I'm happy with this, so I'll just select everything, or I can press Ctrl A on my keyboard to select everything, and I'll use this arrow. I'll use this arrow to save my project. Now I can delete what's extra, which is the surface that we extracted. It's extra, but if I move it, because it's working with Rhino's history command, the pieces are moving as well, so you also need to be careful about that one. I'm going back with Ctrl Z and delete it before moving. Okay, so now I will go and Boolean union these. So choose everything, which is 199 polysurfaces, one of them being the ring itself. We'll go to solid and Boolean union. This might take a while depending on your computer. Mine takes a while. And now it's pretty much unioning, joining, welding all of the pieces together to turn this whole ring into just one polysurface instead of 199 different pieces. Yep. Now if I choose this, it's only one polysurface. Let's delete what's extra. Those are extra. I delete it. And now for the magic part, we'll go to tools, and on the first page there's this ring resizer. It first wants the model from you, so you will need to choose your ring and use this arrow, and for the circle you will need to choose your ring rail and put it in this box. For these left and right angled lines, curves, that I will include them in a further lesson with some rings with stones on them. And then basically you just come here and click whatever size you want. You need to press and hold Control on your keyboard. Let's go 10, 11, 12, 13, oops, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, and maybe 23. Okay, let's do one more, 24. Okay, pressing and holding Control, I chose whatever sizes I wanted, and now I will hit resize up here, and it's working the magic. It's creating all of the rings. Yep. Now let's render them together. We'll go to render, V-Ray styles, and first of all what I changed here is this one. When I opened it for the first time, when I launched Matrix for the first time, it was classic fast, and instead I chose satin blur, which is faster, and I think it looks better. It's a personal choice. You should try them all and see which one fits you. Okay, so choose all of them, and I want them to be rose gold, so I will click this, and then I will use this green button to apply the materials. Okay, and I want the background, so I will click this one here to create a ground plane and choose that surface that we just created, and I'll go here, choose white mate, and apply the material to the background. Okay, and as a resolution you can go higher. The highest I can get now is 1920 times 1080, or you can also type something that you want, like 1920 times 1080. This is what I want, so that's what I typed. And now when I click this render button, it will start rendering. Yep, once again, thank you for your time. I hope I could describe what I wanted to. And hopefully I will see you next week with a new video. If you have any questions, as always, ask them in the comments. If you have any orders about videos, I might consider them if you leave a comment. I'm reading and trying to answer all of the questions. Have fun, keep practicing, and stay safe.